dude. I'm like shocked that, well, I'm not shocked, but I'm glad that sell played out because I wasn't so sure about it because I usually don't trade Asian.
Well, you want to know something even more wild? I was in a sell, I think, when CT saw it, and that thing went 150 pips against me. I was literally close to negative 3,000 before that huge drop. And I closed out right at like plus $26.
I saw that and I was like, man, are you writing it down? You're like, no, I got the fuck out.
Dude,
when we took it earlier, yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
I was sweating for you on that one.
Dude, I kept telling Kyle, I was like, Kyle, where's it going, man? Where's it going?
Told you where it was going.
It's gonna go
went
here.
Right to it.
And I held, bro. I held.
That's amazing. That was incredible. I was like, oh my God, he held it. He held it. That was awesome.
Got freaking nerves of steel.
I was just thinking today, I'm like, man, if I could hit this every single day, make it a benchmark, I could fly Kyle completely to go see all you guys because my boy owns and runs Atlantic Jets and can get us a Learjet flight, boom, right to LA, 30,000.
You know what? Let's take a freaking trip.
That's 4 people. It covers for 4 people in a Bombardier Global. It's like it could fit like 14 people usually. You could literally just run up and down just because you pay 30,000 for it.
Just because.
Just because.
People are making their way in right now.
Okay.
Good morning, everyone, or good night, everyone. Whoever's joining in.
Now, because
sorry
for
for
discovering all these new strategies.
Oh, and Sean, we might need to mute everyone if possible.
Oh yeah. Let me
So
real quick.
people gonna start.
There we go. Let me unmute you, Josh. Let's see, where's Josh at? There you go, Josh. Just here.
Sweet.
Oh.
Welcome, everyone. Hey, sorry, I was running a little late. My apologies, everyone. Normally I like to be punctual and on time. So, sorry we had to, we're running about 30 minutes behind, but we'll give it a few more minutes to let everyone, join the room and whatnot. And today, we're going to review, our K2 3-minute strategy, really, and what to look for. How do we apply it? Also, too, we want to just make sure that, for today, we're having some fun, man. I know a lot of people made a lot of profits today. So I'm hoping that everyone was on that train, that, you were able to make profits. But I'd like to kind of follow last week's format where we don't necessarily sit here and do like a 2-hour long session, right? What we want to do is, hey, we want to show you what this is. We want to make sure that everyone knows what we're looking for and whatnot. And then if you guys have questions or concerns, feel free to reach out to myself or Sean. I know that there's other individuals who are experts to a certain extent in the 3-minute strategy. So you can reach out to them as well, put it in the chat. But for today, like I said, I just kind of want to go through the motions and just kind of go from there. All right. So we'll give it like another minute or two. And then we'll get started for sure. All right. But hope everyone had a blessed day today, right? Hope you guys didn't work too hard at your normal jobs. If you've got a normal job, I know definitely for me, I was doing some stuff at work with some of my clients, and I was on and off the charts all day today. So, but other than that, man, blessed to be here, super excited. And, we'll go ahead and start right now. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, everyone. Okay. I'm going to share my screen. Where am I at? This one right here. All right. So I think it's appropriate to kind of go over this 3-minute strategy. Now, as a disclaimer, hey, everyone, welcome to the K2 fam, right? K2 family. Everything that we do, we talk about in this community is really all about family. We're all really good people around here. We're striving to be good traders, the best traders that we can be. So for today, I have the honor really to talk about one particular strategy that that we use here in K2, and it is the 3-minute strategy. Now, for most of you guys, if you don't know K2, you know, there are different strategies that are part of the community. If you want to know a little bit more about that, you know, I'm going to highly encourage you guys to go on the website, go on the YouTube channel, and check out some of those free educational videos that are on the YouTube. If you're not a part of the, you know, premium, I would suggest that you get on the premium because it's just, you know, it's life-changing, you know, these indicators and being a part of the group chat, the premium group chat, and just having the ability to kind of talk with like-minded traders such as ourselves. Super blessed to be a part of this group, okay? So again, without further ado, this is the 3-minute strategy, all right? So what we're looking for, right? Normally what we like to encourage everyone is, hey, when we go live in the morning, it's normally 6:30 in the morning, Pacific Standard Time. If you're in the East Coast, that's 9:30. If you're across the world, you know, you might need to get your world clock out and kind of figure that out, right? But normally we like to start 6:30 our time here in California, out in Pacific Standard. So I've already kind of marked a little bit for today's, we're going to review today. We're going to look at to see how many signals, how many valid signals did we get for a 3-minute entry. Okay. So 609. Well, you might be asking yourself, all right, Josh, well, what is it that I'm looking for? Right? What is it that we're looking for? Well, that's a great question. The only way you can get these indicators is that if you have the subscription and that, you know, you are a member and that you are paying for them. Right? So for this particular 3-minute strategy, you want to go to your indicators, make sure that you have your invite only scripts. And what you're looking for is you're looking for pivots and you're looking for this momentum indicator here, okay? The proprietary trading system. So when I go down here, these are the 2 indicators that I need for this particular strategy. The TS, really, it's the momentum. Okay, and the pivots. Now you might be asking yourself, well, Josh, what is which one is which? Which one is the pivots? Which one is the momentum? Okay, well, I'm gonna hide the pivots. The momentum is literally the green and red bars that you guys see, flashing horizontal. Okay, that is the momentum. Now I want to make this clear. These momentum indicators, these momentum signals, okay? Momentum is not a buy/sell signal. Just want to make that known to everyone, okay? That doesn't mean, oh, well, it's green, so I buy, or it's red, I sell, right? No, that's not what it is. Momentum is momentum. So it's telling us, hey, Josh, hey, trader, right? The momentum is going down or the momentum is going up, okay? So I just want to make that clear. So now that we know that the momentum indicators, these signals are the green and red vertical bars, right, that we see. Well, the next thing is the pivots. The pivots are these lines that you see on the chart right now. Okay, these are the pivots. All right. Now, for this particular strategy, what we're going to do is we're going to go to the settings of the pivots, and we're going to uncheck level 1 and level 2. because for this particular strategy, we don't need it for the moment. Now, you might notice that on yours, level 2 is yellow. Well, for me, I like to change it. Yellow is just a little too bright for my eyes. I like to change mine just because that yellow does hurt my eyes with my glasses. So I change it to like a turquoise color, okay? So this is what, just kind of looking at our chart right now between 4 o'clock and 6 o'clock, this is what pivots and momentum indicators looking like at the moment, all right? And I hope everyone sees that, okay? Now, next question, you're like, Josh, all right, well, what is it that I'm looking for? How do I know when to enter? How do I know when to buy, when to sell, yada, 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 okay? Now, as another reminder, we are solely focusing on US 30, all right? We're focusing on US 30 for right now, okay? We get a lot of questions, hey, Josh, does this 3-minute strategy work on other assets? To be honest, it might, but I have not, if you're asking me, I have not done the back testing for it. I do know on some of the stuff that I have back tested was the Ethereum crypto. I've back tested that it does work there. I've back tested that it does work on the DAX 30. So, but for today, you know what? We are going to really focus on this 3-minute. And then I will also, if we do have time, I want to show you a potential new entry where it involves K2 pivot level 2, okay? But for right now, I really just want to go briefly as a reminder from last week's session. I want to practice what we learned last week, okay? So as price goes through, right? This is the 3-minute chart. As we're going through, what I'm looking for is I'm looking for momentum indicators. So this last one was a sell. The next one should be a buy. So we're going to keep going until we get a buy momentum, right? So here's my buy momentum. But for practice purposes, okay, we're going to go ahead and let's take a look at this just because I want to teach you guys how to enter all this other stuff. Okay, now, first thing we want to look at, number 1, K2 momentum, right? Momentum, green/red. This is the stuff we want to look for first, all right? We want to identify this. So we're coming across 621. Well, yeah, we got a momentum indicator and it's green. Cool. So that's the first step, right? All right. Well, then what's the next thing I'm looking for? All right. Now, forgive me because sometimes I get my vocabulary mixed up, right? So what we're looking for is we're looking for this candle to cross and or close above/under K2 pivots 3 and 4. So when we say above, we're thinking, you know, like buy. When we say under, we're really thinking like for a sell, right? For buy entries, sell entries, okay? Now, when we're looking at this, let me ask you guys, number 1, did you get the momentum indicator? We sure did. Boom, right here, right? We see the momentum indicator. That's the green one. We see that clear as day. Cool. Number 2, the candle itself. Did this candle cross or close above or under the pivots, right? So the trick is that, well, if I'm in a buy, right? Why, like, I don't want to take a sell here because it doesn't match up, right? Sell is red, green is buy, right? So what I want to do is I want to make sure that this candle closes above the pivots. Now, if we see here, well, level 3, which is the orange, and level 4, which is the red, the pivots are down here. Price itself, if you guys see this little dotted line, but I'll make it black so you guys can see, this is where the candle closed. So in essence, if I were to ask you, did this candle close above both of these pivots? Above meaning, you know, a buy. Yes, it did. It sure did. Okay. Now going back. All right, cool. Now what I'm going to do is we have a particular, when I place my entry, there are certain things that we want to look for. Okay. Now, when you ask me, well, hey, Josh, like how many pips should I go for? How many pips should be my stop loss? How many pips should be my TP? Well, we're always going to say 25, 50, right? We're always going to say 25 for TP and 50 for stop loss. Okay. That's just what we're recommending. Okay. That's the recommendation. That doesn't mean that you need to follow that. The great thing about being a trader is that you get to choose how long you want to hold, how early you want to exit. If you got into some drawdown, you can exit if you don't feel comfortable, right? So this is a unusual ratio, right? This is an unusual ratio, okay? But this is what the default is going to be, right? And if you watch last week's video, we go more into depth into that, okay? So for today, this is just kind of picking up where we left off last week, and we're practicing, right? So if I keep going, right, go throughout the candles, got some drawdown, there's my TP, boom. And this is at 621, right? And again, I get a lot of questions. Josh, well, when should I start? When should I start looking for entries? I mean, truth be told, we're going to recommend New York Open 630-ish, but as you go along in your trading journey, you might feel more comfortable taking some of these earlier entries, right? I don't want to be responsible for telling you exactly when you need to enter, because the whole point is for every single one of us at some point to get so comfortable and so confident with our trading that, you know what, I may not need to go on Sean's live session anymore because I'm that badass. Like I'm that confident. I know what I'm doing, right? So, and it's no slight to Sean, but Sean is really kind of teaching as we're going live. So, and I know his goal is to really help create and maintain profitable traders, right? But you got to be able to be profitable on your own at some point. So this is how we enter. Like pretty simple, ladies and gentlemen, super simple. You look for the indicator, the momentum, and then you look for whether or not the candle closed above the pivots for a buy. So let's keep going, right? Let's do a buy, let's do a sell. I want to see what's up. I want to see if we can get some good, here we go. Here's our sell, right? There's a sell. Okay. Going back to our rules here. Let's look at our momentum signal. Did we get a momentum signal? We sure did. Yes, we did. Okay. Step number 2. Well, did the candle cross and close? Since this is a sell, right? This is a sell. Did it cross and close under the pivots? So if I were to ask you, I'm going to put 2 lines really fast for you guys, right? Did this candle close underneath these pivots, underneath level 4, right? Because I wanted to close actually underneath both in order for me to consider it like valid, right? I want it to really cross and close underneath both 3 and 4. So here is where the candle closed, but I can vividly see that the candle did not close underneath the pivots, right? You guys can see that. it's plain as day right there. I mean, look at the pivots. So for the basic purposes, you know, we don't enter this, but I do want to show you guys the markup. Okay, just the markup. Let's say, you know what, Josh, like I want to be risky today, and I have a feeling that, you know, it's gonna push for 25 points off that sell signal. Okay, cool. Be my guest. Go for it. It's all good, right? All good. But let's see where this goes. And again, for practice purposes, we're gonna ride this thing out, right? Now, here we go. I want everyone to see this, okay? Even though you got the sell signal, there's a reason why we don't enter this sell when it doesn't close underneath the pivots, okay? Now the pivots, if you look at it, I mean, you can see where the trend is going, right? The trend is going up. So this is where we don't want to take this. We don't want to take it. It's just kind of risky, right? And as you can tell, it hit stop loss. Well, you might be like, well, Josh, you know, like I'm not down with the 50. Like I'd rather do 25, 25. Well, cool. Hey, do 25, 25. Even if you did 25, 25, you still hit stop loss. You would have hit a TP though, if you know, wanted to go for 15 pips, as you guys can see, right? But, you know, going off the default numbers that we got going on, 25 and 50, this is the reason why we don't take this entry. So this, in a sense, is invalid. We don't take it. Don't take it. That's a no-no, okay? We're not going to take that bad boy. No, 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 no. All right, invalid. Okay, now, let's say we're going back to right here, right? We're going through. We know that's invalid. We know we're not going to take it. So that was a sell momentum. Well, now I'm going to look for the next one, which should be a buy, right? Or not, sorry, not a buy, a green momentum. Looking for a green momentum. So we're going through, you know, price is going. All right, here we go. So we see that we got the green indicator right here, green momentum. Now, got the green momentum. Does this candle close above, right? Because it's green above, green buy, green above. Does it close above the pivots? Well, it sure does. Exactly. So for practice purposes, right? Just practice purposes. I'm gonna put my buy entry. And if you guys don't have, you know, defaults or some settings saved on your positions, I would suggest you do so. It just makes it easier, right? So check this out. Here's my entry. Next candle. Next candle. Boom. There's my TP. So theoretically, if you would have taken the 621, let's just say you wanted to take the 621 for the day, you're already up 50 pips or 500 pips for US 30. And for some of you guys, that's all you need. You're done. You're done for the day. Realistically, you're done for the day by before 8 o'clock. You're done for the day. Okay. Which is amazing, which is super nice, right? Super nice, super nice. Now, okay, let's keep going for practice purposes because I want to keep going and I do want to be respectful of everyone's time, but I also want to show you this additional 3-minute entry that it's not solidified yet, but I want people to practice what I'm practicing as well. Because if we get more people to look at this, Sean will give it the green light to make this a actual additional entry for the 3-minute. But until then, I do want to show you guys so that way you guys are seeing what I'm seeing. All right, here we go. Here's this momentum, right? Got the red momentum. Question, is this going to be valid or invalid? So this green one was valid, right? Valid. And let's say, you know, we had this green one over here, which was valid, right? Cool, cool. Valid, invalid, valid. All right. So we're looking at this red one. You guys tell me, is this valid or is this invalid? Well, we're about to find out, right? Here are my pivots. This is where the candle closed, right? Opens up here, closed down there, right? Okay. I'll give you guys 3 seconds to tell me if this is valid or invalid. 1, 2, 3. Exactly. It's invalid, right? It's invalid for us. Okay. Now, I do want to say something. Just because it's invalid doesn't necessarily mean that it actually won't go and hit TP. But what happens is that anytime we trade, and I know 100% of everyone in this room or on YouTube, we want to make sure that we want to eliminate risky, right? Now, is it impossible to eliminate all risky? Well, trading in itself is just risky in the first place, right? So you're not going to eliminate it 100% of the time. But if we can eliminate these, like, just looking at it, these risky trades, I'd rather eliminate it, okay? I would rather eliminate a risky sell on an uptrend, right? On an uptrend, look at the pivots, it's going up. I would rather eliminate a sell versus, get 0 TP and not get an entry versus it actually hit TP, but it was extremely risky, right? I don't like that game. So for practice purposes, hey man, let's go ahead and go through these candles, right? Boom, boom. All right. Now you might be thinking, well, Josh, look, it hit TP, it hit TP. Hey, you're absolutely right. That's cool if it hit TP, but for me, I'd rather protect my capital, right? I'd rather protect my capital. I'm not comfortable with it. Okay. I'm not comfortable with it. So, there are times where it does hit TP, but I would rather you guys not take an entry and protect your capital versus taking a risky entry and you actually lose your capital. All right. Now, I do want to say something today. Does anyone know how many people from the Fed were talking today? Does anybody know? Was anybody checking Forex Factory today? I know how many people were talking today, and they were talking right around this time. Okay. Let's see. Let's take a look. Yep, exactly. Four people talked today, and it was right here early in the morning. And if you were live with Sean earlier, Sean called it. Sean said, hey, you know what? We're not going to look for any entries right now, because what's going to happen is that the market is going to go bonkers. It's either not going to move or it's going to move erratically because people are talking right now. People from the federal government are talking. So, but for practice purposes, I do want to go ahead and just mark up the next signal, because we already know what the next signal is going to bring us, right? But for practice purposes, here we go. Again, practice purposes. Where's my text set? Okay, here we go. Here's text, right? Boom. You guys tell me, is this valid or invalid? Valid or invalid? If you're telling me valid, you are absolutely correct, right? If you're telling me valid. And again, this is based off of like what we look for in an entry, because we all know, right? We all know that this will hit stop loss, but there is a reason for it. Okay. There is a reason for it. There are other things that we look for when we try to look for entries other than just pivots and momentum. Okay. We look for trend. We look for who the hell's talking right now. Okay. We look for, was there a Joe Biden tweet? Was there a President Trump tweet, right? There's a bunch of things that we have to look for. But for the purposes of learning how to enter based off of the momentum and the pivots, well, this is what we're practicing right now, okay? So let's say we go through, and unfortunately, it does hit stop loss. Let's see, you know, an hour later, right? An hour later. Now, again, if you were live with Sean, you would have followed suit and not entered this trade because there was news, because there were people talking. And I want to show you guys something. Okay? I want to show you guys something. Do you guys see these pivots right now on my screen? What are these pivots doing? For almost 2.5 hours, you know what these pivots were doing? They were flattening out. And when pivots are flattening out, you know what that means? Yep, it's flat. You know what that means? That means price ain't moving anywhere, right? Or if it is, it's going pretty erratic, right? As you can tell, even if I put level 1 and 2 back on, it starts to pinch. It starts to flatten out. Exactly. We avoid. It is way too risky. So this is something that we also have to take into consideration when we are looking for some entries, because you're absolutely right. If you took these 2 buy entries, honestly, if you went default, you would have hit stop loss, right? But if you would have taken this sell, you would have been like, well, Josh, that's not valid, so I don't take the sell. Well, this sell right here, well, Josh, I don't take this sell either because it's invalid. It doesn't close underneath. But you notice that later on, it actually does hit TP. But that's because, you know, market was trying to correct itself. People were done talking by 10, 11 o'clock. Okay. So this is where we want to really highly encourage you guys. Don't go based off of, you know, well, Josh, you told me green signal or green momentum and candle, then you tell me to get into a buy. That's what you said. That's what you said. Well, that's only part of it, guys. That's only part of it. You know, as a trader, you want to know what's going on in the world. You want to know what the news is telling you. I posted something in the mentor-mentee chat, and I can post it later on again. It would be really nice if and Sean started doing it, and I want to follow suit to what Sean's doing. He's constantly looking at the CNBC Dow Jones index itself, all the top 30 stocks. And when you see a sea of red, right, you may not want to take any sells, right? So there's other things that we want to continue to look at. But for today, for, you know, if you don't know the strategy in itself, yes, there are other things that you got to look for. But for the indicators, the K2 indicators, this is exactly what we need. We need price, you need the momentum, and you need price to close either above for a buy or under for a sell underneath both of these pivots. All right, that's what you need. That's what you need. Okay. Now, let me see. You know, for the sake of time, I do kind of want to go over this other. It's not a K2 strategy yet, but it is something that I have been looking at, and I have ran it through Sean, and Sean is telling me, let's continue to get some more data. And I'm like, all right, cool. Let's go ahead and do that. All right. So one thing that I'm looking for is, oh, I don't know if someone can mute themselves. Sorry. I just saw something in the chat on the order blocks. You know, this original 3-minute strategy never used the order blocks. So order blocks is, from my understanding, it will come soon. Okay, it will come. But for this 3-minute strategy, we're not using order blocks. Okay, if you want to apply it, sure. If you know order blocks and you want to apply it, cool, but I definitely would not worry about order blocks at this moment. Okay. But anyway, you know, going back, what I want to show you guys is something where, and actually this might not be the appropriate, yeah, this is not going to be a good time frame. So let's go back in time. Let's go to yesterday. Maybe yesterday was good for us. Let's go to yesterday. Okay, let's get some more practice in, right? Here we go. I'm going to leave K2 level 2 on just for practice purposes. You guys tell me this buy right here, 618. If you wanted to take it, right? Let's just say you wanted to take it 618. Would this be a valid buy or an invalid buy? You guys tell me in the chat. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, right. It would be valid. Okay, so let's see where it takes us, right? I don't know. You know, I don't know where it's gonna go. Boom, there you go. There's your 25 pips. Okay, and depending on your lot size, if you're doing a 0.1 or a 0.10, you know, that would have been $250 for some of you guys right there. Right there. Okay. And before we go on to the next example, I want to remind everyone, ladies and gentlemen, it's okay to not trade the whole day. Like I really want to remind everyone. So right now I'm going to stop my screen. I want everyone to look at my face right here as I'm talking, right? Guys, it is okay to not trade the whole day. You don't need to trade the whole day, right? We really want to get into this mindset of what is your goal? If your goal is to get 25 pips off US 30, get your 25 pips off US 30 and call it a wrap, okay? Because I am no expert, but I will say this. I fall victim to that often. And I'm asking people like Kyle to like hold me accountable. Hey, when I reach my goal, man, like you got to hold me accountable because I don't want to lose my profits, right? Like even the coaches need mentors. Even the mentors need mentors, right? So I do want to just let everyone else know it is okay for you not to trade the whole day. Okay. So just stop trading, get your pips and you're done. Right. Okay. So going back to the chart. So here we got 25 and we're good, right? We're good. And exactly. I agree 100%. When the market is flat or dead, what's the sense of risking your capital and your profits? For some of you guys, I can answer that. You're risking your profits or your capital because you don't realize that the market is dead. You're not looking for that. You're looking for, well, Josh said buy signal, close above, then I'm going to take it. Sell signal, I'm going to take it. That's why you lose your profits when the market is flat. So, and again, there's other things that we need to look for, right? But I want to highly encourage, if your trade psychology is not good, it is okay to only take 2 or 3 entries. Does anybody know how many entries Sean took today? Does anybody know? I can guarantee you it was under 10. I can guarantee you it was under 6. You know, I believe he only took like 3 or 4, and 3 of them were from last night because it's like a 24-hour cycle, right? He only took, I want to say he only took 1 or 2, maybe 1 entry in New York.
Yeah, that's all I took, dude. That's all I took.
Exactly, guys. Exactly.
Paid 4,000 off that.
And Sean, I don't know if you want to piggyback off of that because I know you see it in the chats, right? Like,
yeah,
you know, people who are over trading. I mean, do you want to kind of just piggyback off that mindset?
Yeah. I mean, if you guys have seen my profits, you know, I talk about it every day in the morning. Like I only take like maybe 1 to 4 trades max a day, but they're all wins. You know, the main key is that you maximize your wins, you minimize or eliminate all your losses. That's basically what I do. You know, I'm very careful with my trades. And all my trades hit for the most part. That's why everyone keeps winning during the live sessions. But then when people go trade on their own after, they lose all the profits because they're over trading, right? You guys got to understand that, you know, patience is key in this trading game. You know, you don't have to take every single entry. you have to analyze it and make sure that it's a good trade. You have to make sure the trend, all the confluences add up to each other, and that the trade that you're taking is actually, a good trade. So yeah, thanks for bringing that up, Josh. Definitely something that a lot of people need to understand, and to only take quality trades. Don't take, it's quality over quantity. Always remember that, guys.
For sure, 100%. And that's what the K2 community is about. We don't encourage over trading. We don't encourage revenge trading. We don't do that. And this is a really great opportunity for a lot of us, including myself too, to really practice, trade psychology, right? So, looking at this signal, do we take it? What do you guys think? It's 6:48 in the morning. And as you can tell, the market does look a little flat, right? Looks a little flat, but it is kind of New York open, right? So what do you guys think? I don't know, right? Let me see how many people are in the chat, whether or not they would take it or not. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, well, we're going to see, right? We're going to see where this goes. Because 1, momentum signal. 2, closes beneath, right? It closes beneath both orange level 3 and level 4 pivots. So to me, this is a valid sell, right? But dang, look at that. Straight up hit into stop loss, right? Straight up. Now, you can't ask me, well, Josh, what happened? Well, US 30 is a beast. US 30 is a beast. This is where you need to make sure your trade psychology is on point. If you're not taking this trade because of the fact that the pivots are already flat as is, that's probably a good indication. Like, you know what? I'm going to skip this. I'm going to skip this entry. I'm not going to risk it, right? Because the pivots are flat. Really, what that really means for us is risky. It's risky. And you know what? If you wanted to play, if you wanted to play with the devil, well, you just lost 50 pips, my friend. You just lost 50 pips. Okay. But I do want to mark this up just so we do have that practice, right? We got the practice in. All right, cool. But hey, guess what, man? If you would have not had, I don't know, maybe you make your stop loss at the high up here, 90 or something. I don't know. You would have got your 20 and this thing probably melts, right? You would have got your 50, 58 pips, okay? But it's so hard for people, for me to answer people like, hey, well, what would what happened, Josh? What happened, Josh? It's just part of the market, guys. Was there news? I'm going to ask you, well, was there news? Was someone talking, right? If you're unsure of certain stuff, if you have uncertainty, don't enter. Simple as that. Don't enter. All right, everyone? Don't enter. Now, this is what I want to show you guys right here, okay? Now, I'm going to issue a challenge to everyone here. This is, Josh's, this is Josh, additional entry, okay? Additional 3-minute entry. Whoop. Okay. We'll say extra. I don't know how to spell additional right now. Extra 3-minute entry. Okay. Whoops. Now, as a reminder, not valid K2 yet. Okay. I just want to show one example and then we will call it a night. All right. I just want to show one example and then we call it a night. All right. This is what I'm looking for, ladies and gentlemen. K2 level 2 will play a key fact, level 2, okay? if I get a buy signal that's underneath the pivots, you guys can see, right, that it's underneath the pivots. You guys see that, right? It doesn't close above, it's closing under, all right? But it does cross level 2, okay? If it crosses level 2, closes above level 2, we could, this is what I'm trying to test out, okay? We could maybe take it for 25. So this is what I'm testing out because I know a lot of people, I've been sending these charts in the mentor chat. Look at this, it's going to TP, it's going to TP. So a lot of people have been asking, hey, you know what? This is the entry, okay? I'm teaching you guys right now. It might be valid. So let's see what's up, okay? Boom. This is what I have been testing, you guys, okay? So what I've been testing is, number 1, K2 momentum, right? Momentum signal. Number 2, candle crossing and closing past K2 pivot 2. Okay. Crossing and closing past K2 or pivot level 2. And as you can tell, we got 25 pips there. Let's see if we can get another example. Okay. Let's see if we can get another example. You know, we're just practicing. Would we take this? Probably not, just because for me, right, it did not cross level 2 pivot. Even if it hits TP, it's still risky to me. Still risky. But you know what? We're going to go ahead and delete this bad boy because if you guys look at the next cell, here we are. All right, guys. So remember, this is not a valid strategy yet. I am asking for everyone in this chat, everyone here, I'm asking for people to help me prove to Sean that this is going to be an additional K2 entry, but I need your guys' data. I need your guys' back testing, okay? So looking at this, do you guys see the K2 momentum? Yes. Does the candle cross and close past pivot level 2? Yes or no? Yes. All right. So in this instance, I want to do the template of the 25-30. Let's see where price goes from here. And again, I don't know if it hits. Don't ask me, you know, what's the accuracy? I don't know yet. That's why we're testing it out. Okay. Let's go ahead, keep going. Boom, there's my TP. Okay. Now, granted, you know, you might have needed to wait an hour and a half. Okay. You might have needed to wait an hour and a half, but it hits TP. Now, here's another thing I do want to bring to your guys' attention. Who knows when we stop taking signals on live? Or not signals, sorry. Who knows around what time on the live that we stop looking for entries? Who knows? Because again, we need to make sure we understand that. And you're absolutely right. It's around 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, me and Sean's time. We live out here in California. So we normally stop looking for entries as it gets closer to 10 a.m. Because when 10 a.m. comes, something happens to the market. Are you guys looking at this right now? Let me just clear everything. Something happens to the market. Who can tell me? What does it start to do? Right? It gets flat And either one thing it's going to do, it's either going to reverse or it's going to flatten out and then continue in the trend. Okay. But do you guys see how price does kind of flatten? In this particular instance, price is flattening out. It's trying to decide which way it's prepping for a move pretty soon, right? So this is why we really try our best, right, to eliminate taking any entries in here. And you can tell just by looking at the candles, they're not really big candles, okay? You had a pretty, you know, on this, you had a pretty big move here. It looked like banks were trying to stop loss hunt people out, right? But going back to this additional entry, you know what? This would have hit, okay? Now, I'm not suggesting you hold this position for an hour. If you wanted to, then by all means, right? Because if you're only looking for your 25 pips, then by all means, cool, go for it. Do your thing, man. Do it. It's all good. But for the strategy, in a sense of, hey, Josh, what happens when price does cross on pivot level 2? Well, this is the thing that we're trying to figure out, okay? And now that you guys kind of see the strategy for what it is, what I'm looking for, right? This is kind of like the blueprint, the basis of it. Now, I know other people add additional confluences or confirmation, and if you have your own confluences or confirmation, then by all means, go ahead and add that stuff. But hey, if you want an additional entry, because during New York session, ladies and gentlemen, New York session, we maybe only get anywhere from 1 to 3 3-minute entries. If you're solely basing your trading history, your trading only on 3-minute, then you know you may want to practice another type of strategy, whether it's, you know, price action, 10-minute snipe. If you want to practice closing your eyes and hitting the buy and stop, you know, be my guest, right? But the 3-minute on a normal basis will only give you anywhere from 1 to 3, during New York at least, 1 to 3 entries. And for the most part, it's pretty solid. As long as you know what you're looking for, because there's other things you gotta take into consideration. Look at the trend, look at the pivots, look at some of these other things, okay? But I just showed you guys an additional, because I've had so many questions. Hey, Josh, what are you looking for? What are you looking for this additional entry? Well, here it is, guys. Here it is, okay? This is what I'm looking for. And I'm going to snapshot this and put it in the mentorship chat, just so everyone has kind of like an idea, practice purposes. There we go, okay? But other than that, you know, it's 7:19 my time right now. We've been on for about an hour, okay? We went through the original strategy. We had, I think, one good entry for today, because the other entries we would have known not to trade, because there was 4 people talking today. There was 4 people from the Feds talking today. And do you really want to trade when these people have the power to make the markets move? I'd rather just sit on my hands and just kind of wait, right? Sit on my hands and not jeopardize my hard-earned capital. Because today, you know what? On my trading talent account, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I made today, let's see, or theoretically it would be yesterday, right? I made close to 3 grand today for my trading account. I made about almost 3 grand, okay? And I don't want to jeopardize because I'm getting greedy, I'm getting money hungry, or, you know, I got that itch to want to get into an entry. We're going to challenge you. Well, you should have the itch to to not be reckless, right? That's what you don't want to do. You don't want to be reckless, okay? So with that being said, hey, my name is Josh. I'm part of the K2 family. I am the one that kind of helped get the 3-minute strategy up and running. If anyone here on the Zoom or on YouTube has any questions on the 3-minute, you are more than welcome to come message me on Telegram, Instagram, come find me on Instagram, Coach Jay Baker. Once upon a time, I used to coach basketball. I play basketball on the regular too. So I got a tournament coming up in June 6th. So I'm ready to ball out. But, for those of you who do know me, in the community, you guys do know that I try my best to be helpful. I try my best to answer questions, especially when some of the other admin aren't able to assist. Okay. So again, thank you very much. We don't want to take no more than an hour of your guys' time. Sean, if you got any last words, man, if you want to close it out, I think we're done here for today. You guys got the 3-minute strategy and you got a potential additional extra 3-minute entry. Again, I want to repeat myself. That is not a K2 strategy. You will not see Sean call that out. That is something that you will look for on your back testing. And if you're going to take that live, take a small lot. Okay. Take a small lot. I don't suggest you take your normal lot because it's something that we continue to try to collect the data on. All right. But this is how strategies become Bible, right? How it becomes the truth. We got to back test and we got to get data. All right. But Sean, any last words, closing statements, closing arguments?
Definitely. Thanks, Josh, for holding this. So basically, yeah, like just reiterating what Josh said, if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to Josh, reach out to the chat. I think your best option is probably to reach out to the chat because, it's better when you guys, communicate amongst each other because this will help you guys learn. Obviously, if you just listen from me and Josh, most of the time it's just going to go in one ear, out the other, right? You're not really going to listen. And you're going to ask the same question later. So sometimes it's better to just ask in the group to have everyone kind of, help each other out. That way it helps everyone else understand things better. Cause even for myself, this is the main reason why I still trade live every morning. I really don't need to trade live every morning, but I still do because trading live every morning and explaining myself with every trade that I take, it helps increase my knowledge. It helps, basically just to practice, what I preach basically, I'm basically teaching you guys as I do it, and it increases my skill. That's why I keep getting why I have no. I don't think we and the one loss we had last month was an accident because I accidentally put a stop loss. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to Josh, me, Kyle, CT, anybody in the group really, or just pop into the chat and we can help you. Other than that, I think that's pretty much it for this session. We're going to try to have these sessions at least once a week. Josh definitely is going to be hosting most of them since he's, this is his strategy. Obviously, I'm here to help as well. But yeah, no, we're definitely working on a lot of things right now. Josh, Kyle, everyone in the group, really, the breakout strategy, that was Kyle's strategy that we've been doing every morning. It's been working really well. So that's probably going to be an official strategy at some point. And then Josh's strategy is obviously an official strategy now. So I'm going to be working on those videos. But other than that, I don't know if there's anything else to cover today. Is there anything else, Josh, that you think we need to cover?
Nah, man, we're good. And we just want to, on behalf of K2, man, we really appreciate everyone tuning in. And yeah, everyone, just have a good night. Let's be profitable tomorrow. And let's not be reckless, man. Protect your capital.
Definitely, guys. Yeah, so that'll be it. And then I'll catch you guys tomorrow morning for the live session. So I'll be back again 6:30 tomorrow. We'll have that breakout entry. Josh, hopefully you catch it this time. Or yeah. Did you catch today's? You didn't, right? You missed it.
Actually, I caught a little bit of it.
Gotcha.
I caught a little bit of it. I think I got TP1. I got the 25.
Yeah. Oh, you missed yesterday's. Okay, now I remember.
Yeah, I missed yesterday's.
Yeah, no, definitely. So hopefully we'll run that again today. I mean, tomorrow. I don't think there's much news in the morning. Let me check real quick. I don't think there's any news tomorrow morning. Or actually there is a lot of news.
Yeah, there is.
There's a ton of news actually. Okay, so there's a lot of news tomorrow. So Same situation again tomorrow, guys. I think we're probably just going to be looking for that breakout entry after that break. Well, this is going to be really tricky because the Fed is
Someone talking at 6.
Yeah, the Fed's speaking at 6. We have the crude oil inventories at 7:30. So we'll see if we can catch that that opening entry. If not, it might be risky. You might just hold off. But there's a lot of news tomorrow. So I'll send you guys an update of the news events. There's news at 5:30 a.m. my time. That's right before US opens. There's news at 6. Every hour actually, there's news. So it's a heavy news day tomorrow. We'll try to catch some trades if possible. If not, obviously we'll just try to be as careful as possible as we can. So other than that, we'll catch you guys here tomorrow morning.
See you guys later.
Josh. See you guys. Thanks for